I know you're an article. 3 biggest surprises for the Browns halfway through the 2023 season. Number 1 on the list, defensive tackle Jordan Elliott. Number 2 on the list, a guy that isn't going to be able to play in this one, is we mentioned earlier, DeJuan Jones ruled out. And number 3, another one of those defensive tackles, Maurice Hurst. It's not a surprise 2 of the 3 guys were from that question mark group of the defensive tackles.
Yeah, especially considering one of those guys was part of the awful group. Last year in Jordan Elliott, he was part of that terrible group. And it's like, I've sat on any show that'll listen to me and said how bad I thought Jordan Elliott was as a player going into this year. I wrote a piece in like April that he should get cut, and there was nothing he could do. And then training camp comes around, and Jim Schwartz starts talking. It's another coach saying how great Jordan Elliott's been in practice and training camp, and then he struggled in the preseason, and then they flip on the regular season switch, and he's a legitimate, solid contributor. He's had a couple of pass rush snaps, including the sack that he had this past weekend, where the offensive line stood absolutely no chance of containing Jordan Elliott. He's made several plays like that, where he did it against Indianapolis too, where it was just like exploded off the line of scrimmage, shed the offensive lineman, get into the backfield, which is what he did at Missouri, which is why he was a day 2 pick. And people like myself, we were excited about him coming into the NFL. He was very productive, and he was he reminded me a lot of what Isaiah McGuire did coming into this class, where they were both Missouri pass rushers, where I was like, yeah, these guys can play. And all of a sudden, Jordan Elliott is getting quarterback pressures. He's not getting shoved around in the run game either. So, don't get it twisted. Jordan Elliott's playing really well in both facets of the game right now. And I had never seen anything like it from him. So it's been really fun to eat crow on that and be wrong about him being bad and him playing well. But you switch to DeJuan Jones, and I talked about it in the article, that it's not that I didn't think DeJuan Jones had this ability, because DeJuan Jones for me had a first-round grade in April's draft. It was just that I'm surprised he's this good so quickly. He stepped onto the field in the first half of the first game, bad weather conditions against the Bengals. He just steps in, and he hasn't missed a beat. He needs to really work on some of his hand technique and stuff in the run game, although I think he's played a lot better. But as a pass protector, DeJuan Jones has been as good of a tackle as the Browns have had in several years, not named Jack Conklin, of course. But he's gone out there, not missed a beat right out the gate. Obviously, he's not playing this weekend, but I vehemently think we have the right tackle of the future for the next 5 to 10 years in DeJuan Jones. I just didn't think we'd have that already. And so that was the biggest surprise. That was the surprise aspect of it for me, was just how quickly he'd gone. And then you go to Maurice Hurst. Again, like you said, this has been a drastic change at defensive tackle. Maurice Hurst was absolutely a lottery ticket. You absolutely took a guy that really hasn't been that productive since 2018, a lot of injuries. But if you go watch his rookie tape in Oakland, he's a relentless pass rusher. I mean, that motor goes and goes and goes. He will play through the whistle. You'll never, ever question the effort of Maurice Hurst when he's on the field. He has now stayed healthy, and part of that is that he's playing in a rotation to where he's not an every down guy. He's a situational guy, and he's doing a lot of cleanup work and a lot of heavy lifting when the pass rushers of Myles Garrett and the outside guys just forcing people to the inside, and people can't climb the pocket and escape like they used to against the Browns defensive tackles, and Hurst plays a big part in that.
Yeah, and again, the big question was, could he stay healthy? He has been, and he's been really good, without question.